let's start with the English Premier League, and Leicester are on top, Everton are second, Arsenal are third, defending champions Liverpool are fourth. All these teams have 6 points each but are separated by goals. Of the four, only two have won the league in the last 10 years. Which of the four do you think will still be in the top four by December?
Bingo, I think this is a setup. It's just game 2 for most of them, and some have just played one game. And for the top four, we already have 2 games. City has not played at all. They'll be playing their first game today. But in December, it is easy to say Liverpool and Manchester City will be in the top 4 by December. The other 2, very tough to call, I tell you. I've seen Tottenham also do some wonders in their second game, and that's not enough. Arsenal have won, even in tough situations, but I can't give it to them because of squad depth. But since it's December, I will go with Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, and let me say Everton.
And Everton.
Let me say Everton. Yeah. You might be wondering why I didn't put the likes of Chelsea, Manchester United, and the likes. I think Chelsea have suffered from one thing I'm still scared of. I said something, I don't know if it was on this show, that we might have Lampard get the players and some other coach comes on to do the job. I think that might just be the challenge.
All right, let's talk about Manchester United. Let's talk about United and their start to the season. 3-1 loss to Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. Now, could this be United's 8-2 moment? And by 8-2 moment, I'm talking about that time United defeated Arsenal 8-2 at the Theatre of Dreams, and Arsene Wenger went out on the final day to get about 5 players, to strengthen the team. I know United have been chasing Sancho forever now. Could this be the incident, the kind of loss that will make, those, upstairs bring out their checkbook and, get those players that Ole Gunnar might need?
Okay, for the Manchester United need, that's the first question. Is it about just buying players? That's the first question they have to ask themselves. Losing this game is not the first time they lost to Crystal Palace at home. It happened last season. And we don't see United like this often, losing or having this kind of a start in a long time. I think the last time they lost their first 6 was in lost their first game rather, was in 2014 at home. That should be against Swansea City.
Yeah.
And it happened in the 90s also. So looking at what they have at this point, it is not too much of a scare. All they just need to do is get 1, 2, 3 players and need to go. I see Solskjaer as one man who can't manage too many stars, and that's what he's also careful about. And telling Manchester United to buy players, to back them up. Why are these players becoming all too expensive? And these players do what they have to do when you buy them at that high amount. Look at Havertz struggling. Look at Kepa and Alaga struggling. Look at Maguire struggling for the fees they bought them at. Now, Sancho should be about £100 million if he's going to come to Manchester United. He started brightly with his new team, with his current squad, Dortmund.
Yeah.
Buying players is not the problem, but I'm just scared for the price. Not because the clubs don't or have the money, but because of the players themselves. Now the agents and the clubs that want to sell players are just interested in how much they're going to sell. They don't care about the future of this guy. So it's more like selling him and wishing him all bad luck. Because he's in his Sancho for 100 million. Imagine if Kai Havertz for what's it called, for £7-something million, or over almost £80 million. That's the scare. These players will still have that thing in their mind. I was bought for 80 million. I'm not sure I can live up to the expectation. Remember, I started Andrei Shevchenko.
Yeah.
I think he broke a record transfer. Look at Torres at that time also, Fernando Torres. He broke a transfer record. These guys couldn't play football any longer.
Danielson for Real Betis. Back in the day.
What did you say?
Danielson for Real Betis.
Exactly. He's a great man with some very skillful leg overs that can turn you around. So these are things I am scared of. Too many players have come and gone because of the cost. So if Manchester United are going to get players, I think they should just look for Players won't cost them too much so that Solskjaer can be able to handle that squad. He's just getting into management. It's going to be a bit tough for him. But I know he can get Manchester United to where they want to be. Not by winning the title at this point because it doesn't look close. Ed Woodward has not shown that he can do those deals that can win titles.
Now how many players do you think they need, and in what department do you think they need those players?
Okay.
Is it in defense, midfield, and striker?
They should get an Alex Telles. That's more to them at this point in time. Alex Telles is more important. If they get a defender and they are steady from the back, they've got a good goalkeeper also and a backup who can also do his thing when needed. That's if David De Gea keeps or messes up again. He had one or two very good saves against the opponents in Crystal Palace. So if they get one good defender, in Alex Telles, that's the man I think is up on their radar at this point in time from Porto. Mm-hmm. I think even if Sancho doesn't come, they should be able to play some good football. They've got guys to orchestrate it. One thing they need to start doing is having a Van der Beek start every of their games. He has shown that he can link up with the midfield and he can link the midfield with the attack. Leave for Pogba doing his normal central midfield passes. Have a Fernandes also help a bit. They scored a lot of goals last season. Goals is not a problem of Manchester United. Mm-hmm. How do you build from the back is their challenge. A Maguire or a Lindelof, one has to sit on the bench as far as I'm concerned. One has to sit on the bench. Luke Shaw is not a bad option, just that he has injuries. And every now and then. Yeah, so they can always make it work at some point in time. Get one defender, and I think they are good to go for this season. It was just a loss. It could. If you start buying players everywhere, then you might have a challenge. Even the Arsenal you were talking about, they didn't go on to win the big title. They just qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah, but those buys were very, very significant at the time. Yeah,
I think they got something Katoya at that time.
They got Katoya, they got Mertesacker, and that was when they got Arteta. And then, that was when they got Arteta. So those buys were very significant because Wenger was not going to buy any player. He didn't buy any player that summer. And then that was when Fabregas left. And everybody was wondering what's going on. He felt he had the squad. And then he lost 8-2. And then he discovered, man, I do not have the squad. So he went out to get...
We always hate to say this on a lighter note.
Yeah.
That's what football is about. It's a wake-up call for Manchester United, like you said. But I don't think they need too much players to strengthen their team. Let them have those... Unless they want to win the league title. And if they want to win the league title... It doesn't look like they're going to do it this season. And if they're going to do it, let them take it one step at a time. The club, the fans must be ready to be patient. But they don't look like they are going to be patient. So just give them good football, win the games you can win, drop some points, secure the Champions League spot again, and do as far as you can in the UEFA Champions League. They don't have too many bad players. If Van der Beek starts playing, he's shown that he can also exchange the ball. We saw what Thiago did for Liverpool yesterday. If you have that with Van der Beek also, he might not be at that level. But there is something about him. He moved the ball, got a goal in his first game. I didn't give him much. I didn't place too much expectation on him, but he's already showing that he's going to be a great at Manchester United if they align play the key position in that team. Allow Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba do their roaming, or play one of them at a time. Maybe Paul Pogba has to start coming in from the bench again, if that's what he needs for Manchester United to play football. Rashford doing well. And maybe Manchester United need a striker. I forgot to say that. Martial has been a natural winger. Yes, he's been scoring goals, but you cannot joke with somebody who is a number 9. If they get a number 9 instead of a Jadon Sancho, I think the other guys can make do with the wing positions. If Daniel James shouldn't be starting for Manchester United, that's why I have a challenge also. He's too static for my kind of a player. Yes, knows how to cross the balls, but that's not all you need as a player. They need somebody who can move the ball around from the flanks, beat one or two defenders. We have that with Greenwood last season. I hope he can do so. Ihalo has shown that if Manchester United have to go anywhere, he's just going to be a substitute. But we need a striker who can put anybody on his toes as far as that striking position is concerned.
All right, let's stop picking on Manchester United and, face Chelsea. £200 million spent so far. And like someone said, predicting over the weekend, on Friday actually, that Chelsea were going to lose to Liverpool. He was quite emphatic with it that their opening game was not really so impressive, even though they won 3-1. And, well, they lost, even though, it took, a red card and a fumble from Kepa Arrizabalaga. But, they lost their opening game. What seems to be, the matter with, or what was your assessment of Chelsea, even though you might say it's early days, just 2 games played?
Now, as far as Chelsea is concerned, they've got the players to do the job. It's now left for Lampard to know where to play each of these players. Good buys, maybe excessive buys as far as I'm concerned. I'm scared when clubs have too many players and they have a coach who cannot handle a robust squad. Look at Jurgen Klopp. Who did he buy? Yes, they won the league. And he went for just a
Alcantara, 20 million.
I think they've got Jota also. Diego Jota just recently.
Yeah.
Most of these guys he has bought, aside Thiago, most of them will sit on the bench. Mm-hmm. He knows his first team. He's been playing. If you go check the Champions League final, they played 2 years ago. And he scored today. I'm not sure you see any change. Maybe 1 or 2 players. Imagine every other team, what they would have done in getting players to the team. That's what Jurgen Klopp would do. Now, not every boss can manage too many players.
Yeah.
Now, Lampard has got the right players in the squad, but playing them out of position. Kai Havertz is number 1. Number 1, I already mentioned his price, but if you still want to get the best out of that man, his pace and his energy playing as a winger or as an attacker for Chelsea in the Premier League might not work. Even the Timo Werner, who is like a bully in the German Bundesliga, is falling down and getting penalties because he can't match up with the strength of those guys. Timo Werner is a fantastic player. He's going to score goals. I'm sure he's going to reach at least 20 goals for Chelsea this season. I've seen that already, even if he's not gotten any at this point in time. But for Kai Havertz, just playing like a Mesut Ozil. He's a bit stronger than Mesut Ozil with the little way of playing. Play him in that holding role. Let him be the one linking up with the attack. Let the Mason Mount and the other wingers you've got play their flank positions. Don't struggle with Hazard playing him out of position. They had a flat midfield. If the same thing Chelsea suffered yesterday was the same thing Barcelona suffered against Bayern Munich when they lost scandalously. If Liverpool wanted to score more, they would have that. Now, you have a Jorginho, you have a Kante who is moving the ball. You need somebody who's also going to be in front. If Jorginho wants to stay there, let him stay there as a static man and just distribute the passes. Kovacic wasn't the best of inclusions in that game yesterday. And if he was played also out of position in that game yesterday. Now, play Havertz, who can use the ball more in recent times than a Kovacic. Play a Kante and maybe a Kovacic, then a Havertz. Jorginho is just the captain in that team. I don't think he was the right player to play in that position. We saw it in the first game. Chelsea struggled but won that game because they had got some quality and it was the opening game. Brighton and over, there were no pushovers.
And the opposition wasn't so fierce as well.
I didn't get you.
And the opposition wasn't really so fierce.
No, Brighton are not a bad team. I saw that first game and I saw quality everywhere. Tariq Lamptey, the former Chelsea player, Trossard, Maupay, these are fantastic players. The midfield was well arranged down to the attack. They moved the ball so well and they controlled that game from Chelsea. But like you said, it was the mind. They were playing against a bigger team, so you expected that to happen, and they showed the quality against Newcastle in the second game.
Yeah.
Now, Chelsea have got what it takes, but will Lampard continue with the same team? That's my fear. Chelsea not let managers go. I hope he discovers what I'm talking about now early enough. Know where to play a Kai Havertz, and knowing that when the likes of Akin Ziyech come, they go straight into their flanks. Pulisic and Ziyech flanking a Timo Werner, and they are good to go. Or you can even play 4-4-2 formation because Timo Werner doesn't look like that man who wants to stand as a number 9. You see the way he always comes in from the flanks, always wants to. You see him going back to help the defense. Yes, he missed a sitter yesterday when it was supposed to be an offside, but that's a man who has shown hunger and wants to play football.
All right.
My fear now is, will he be able to fit in tactically? If they can, then Chelsea are good to go with the quality of players they got.
All right. Well, unfortunately, that's where we have to end. I know there's still quite a lot to talk about, but we just have to put a pin in it right now. Thank you so much, Azu, for being our guest on the show this morning.
It was a pleasure.